Hi guys, so today I'll be teaching you how to make commercial donuts. So you'll be needing 18 cups of flour and 250 grams of dangote sugar. I'll be pouring everything in because I don't want it to be too sweet, but if you want it to be too sweet, you can add more to it. Then I'll add mix that together. Just mix together with your hands. I'm going to add my yeast. This is 4 tablespoons of yeast. Baking powder, you're going to put 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Mix that in thoroughly. Make sure you mix it very well. And you add your butter. This is 250 grams of, I think I use about 150 grams or so. But no more than 150 grams of butter. Just going to mix that in very well. Now this is commercial donut. If you're doing the main donut, like the one you don't want to sell, you want to eat, you can make use of only yeast. But when you're doing commercial donuts, you want it to heat perfect, so you are expected to add baking powder to it. The outcome of this is superb. You can't even tell if baking powder is in it, but the outcome is superb. So make sure you mix that butter very well. Mix it into it thoroughly. Just make sure you mash it into it thoroughly. And now I'll be adding our milk flavor. Added milk flavor to it. And turn it into it very well. You mix it very well. Then you add water. Please, when you're adding water, just don't pour everything at once. You pour it little by little until you have the right consistency. So you just continue massaging it until everything sticks together and your dough is smooth. Until you have a smooth dough. Please pardon my baby, he likes working with me. And you continue mixing that until everything is incorporated and it's completely mixed. Just keep doing it like that. Keep turning it until until your dough is smooth and non-sticky. That's when you stop mixing the dough. You can see our dough is almost smooth. So please, you remove every remnant on your hands. Make sure you remove everything on your hands. See, our dough is smooth. You can see the bowl is clean already. No dough sticking on it. So now what you want to do is look for a tray and start rolling it into balls. Just roll them into balls or any shape you want, but since you're doing donuts, roll them into balls. You see how small it is. It's supposed to be small. You don't put so much. Just roll them into small balls and you put on your tray. And please make sure your tray you've sprinkled a little flour on it. Just continue doing like that until you exhaust your dough. Now I've already heated my oil. I'll be putting in the dough into it. You can see they've risen up. I think I left it for about 10 to 15 minutes. One thing about this recipe is you don't want to leave it for too long because it will rise a lot. So just leave it for like 10 to 15 minutes. Leave it for like 10 to 15. Don't even cover it. The one good part of this dough is it rises on the ground, but when it enters into the oil, it will double or sometimes triple in size. You can see immediately I drop into the oil, it is getting big. That is how it will continue to be. And when you're frying it, you think it is not done yet. You just, when frying it at a particular stage, you think, this thing is heavy, so it is not done, it is not well cooked inside. Don't be alarmed. The one thing is, this recipe gives you a heavy donut and it is well cooked. The succulence is not too strong, it's not too light, it melts in the mouth. So it is a very good sauce for commercial donuts. You want to do commercial donut and make excessive gain, this is the recipe you make use of. So you continue turning until you have achieved this golden brown texture, golden brown color, I mean to say. So when your donut is golden brown in color, that is when you can take it away from the heat and transfer into a sieve or a bowl lined with paper towel to remove the excess oil from it. So it's as simple as that. It's not something too difficult. So please, when doing this recipe, make sure your yeast is very active, because if your yeast is not active, you won't get a good dough. It won't rise. And make sure your baking powder is not expired also, because the two of them work together. If your baking powder is expired and your yeast is active, it won't work. If your baking powder is okay and your yeast is not active, it won't work also. So make sure those two ingredients, those two things you're using are active, the yeast is active and the baking powder is not expired. So this is our finished product. You can see how beautiful it looks.